We got CD Palmer on the line here with us. Claudacious De Leon Palmer, the man himself.
Man,
Big D. He's actually in the car today. And
you know what? You're the only one that know all my names.
I know all of them. I'm going to put your dirt in the street. I'll tell all your names.
Hey,
Okay.
if anybody gonna put dirt in the street, it's gonna be Alex that I'll allow do it, because you know it from the rooter to the tutor.
From the rooter to the tutor, all the way from the beginning. So if you didn't guess, all you folks out there watching, this is my old friend, an old friend. And my first, what you would call like real estate mentor, business mentor, who took me under his wing, actually taught me the details and got me started on habits, routines, and ways to live my life that have created an amazing lifestyle. And so
remember that.
Yeah, not just a life, a lifestyle. And so CD Palmer's here with us. While you're even driving, we're going to get a podcast while you're driving. Well, as long as the phone still runs.
Yeah, you know, technology got to catch up to us still. You know, this live, right?
We're not live on the internet. We're recording it, but we're not going to cut it. So it'll go out live exactly like this.
Okay, sweet. So look.
Here we are, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Giving you all the audience a little bit of the new stadium and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm all yours, man. I'm on here because this is your show. Let me help you out. Let me do what I need to do. I'm excited, man. Shit, I used to do the interviews and radio and all that.
So let's talk about that. You're a digital entrepreneur. You created an entire world of online radio when nobody knew what online radio. They were, podcasts. People like were barely even starting. Can you talk about that in the beginning?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I didn't start off thinking I'd be in the radio business. That's obvious. You know how we always start out. It's like, I want to be on the radio because I want to get a date. I think I can use my Barry White half-tone voice,
Yeah.
And I could get popular, that kind of thing. Well, what happened really is that, I got bamboozled. I went to Cerritos College, bring a friend on. They wanted to do some rap releases. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go do a show, man. I'll take you on. I'll help you out. Then maybe Snoop Dogg will notice us. And then we can get you popular and get you a record deal. That was it. So we did it. Went to the college. We went into the studio. He was excited. And then the engineer said, bro, you're going to be on internet radio. He said, oh, man, this is some shit. My friend. He's like, this ain't real radio, man. Until we did the show for 30 minutes. And when we were done, he was talking about, rap coming out. And it was a song, it was called Bounce. It's a beautiful song. When we was done with the show and we exited the studio, although it was on the internet, it was still piping through the college dorms. And they wanted to meet him. At the studio, he had a fanfare of chicks. I'm not going to exaggerate. There were 200 women standing outside the studio wanting to get his autograph because they thought he was a superstar. That's when it clicked to me that I don't know what the hell we just did, but how they logged on and listened to it back then either, right? I told the engineer, I have to do this full time. This is me. I'm going to build an enterprise out of this. I don't know what I'm going to build. And I don't know how the hell you pipe that through the internet. I'm going to figure it out. You know what he told me? I have an NDA with the college and I cannot disclose the components that it takes to, allow you to broadcast on the internet because FCC, right?
Wow.
Yeah, because 1998, the FCC, what was it? It was the Radio Act. They were just passing it. So I said, I don't give a cahoot. I'm getting on the radio, man, via, internet. So it took me 2 years, Alex, man, to try to figure out what components would allow me to broadcast. I bought every stereo component you could think about. It looked like, hey, Fat Albert.
I remember there was wires running everywhere. And there was it was crazy.
It was a hazard. Trust me, man. We had 5,000 square foot and only had 1 foot to walk. So you already know what it was looking like. I said, one of these components out of Walmart is going to work. I don't know which one it is. And guess what? What you doing today is all that stuff.
It's so easy now. I mean, we got, man, I'm so grateful. I think about it like, I feel like I'm thinking back to like, man, CD was walking uphill both ways to school every day in the snow. Like it was so hard. Like you were creating like with analog pieces and
Yep.
okay, so like there's technology now like Hootsuite and StreamYard where you can just stream out and hoot out and everything gets like magnified and sent out and all that. But we were
Yep.
doing it manually. Like we were hiring people. You would hire people to sit there and go on to MySpace and chat with people on MySpace. And nobody even knew like it was a totally different thing. There weren't companies that were just doing that. You were the first one that I ever heard of that even tried that kind of thing. See if the camera will come back.
Well, there were no streaming service.
Looks like the internet's cutting out just a little tiny bit, and I bet you it's going to come back in 1 second.
It's okay.
There it is. Go ahead.
It's okay. I know pause. But I don't see pause.
Go back and say that again. It didn't come through on the internet.
If I don't see your teeth and your lips moving, I'm a pause.
Okay, perfect.
So you edit, yeah, or whatever you need to do, man.
That's good.
That part we're still figuring out, right? 5G, 6G, yeah, mobile web. But there was no streaming servers back then. You know, like Hootsuite today. You know, we had to do that on our own mother cards, on our motherboards and stuff like that. So you'd have to have a real. What you're doing all your hands and feet and toes right there in front of, literally you're running a station.
Yeah.
Not just a program, because you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
We didn't know we could do it all in one room. You remember, you've seen it.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't back then. We didn't have all this. It's so easy now. I can go to Walmart and buy a stream deck where I can just switch cameras and put in graphics and all that kind of thing. But nothing like that even existed. Like, no, we were just making it up. Like, looking at your face, I can see whenever I say I could just push a button and add graphics live, you're like, we couldn't even imagine doing that kind of thing.
All I see is a bunch of capital went down the toilet. But you know what it did, though? It did pay the payment for a lot of people in the world, like 365, who were partners with them when we started. Verizon, having audibles go through there. iPhones didn't have music on it. We were the music of iPhones when it first started. So it wouldn't have been the independent world of music today and a lot of independent broadcasts. So we are a part of that. That's the historicals I can take, to my grave, man. We were there in 1998 when nobody was doing it, man. And now you look at so many, look at how much talent is out there. Mainstream wouldn't have gave no one this shot. And it was less talent. Right? You would have all mainstream music. Now you have a ton of, like, look at your broadcast. I listened to a few of them. You already was good at it. But you would have got blocked at the front door because it's like, if you're not part of that circle of broadcast, right? Which is like slow broadcast, telecast, right? Then you wouldn't get a shot. But look at you. You're giving other people an opportunity to spread the goodness around the world, man.
And
right
so,
from your room.
Yeah, right from my room. Yeah, you were the first one talking about democratizing and spreading it out and letting, everybody talks about that now. That's like common. Nobody even thinks that it's even weird to talk about democratizing and spreading out the ability to broadcast and not having the broadcast bottlenecked up. And that's like everybody on YouTube that's broadcasting is talking about that, about like who's in business and marketing, about that it's spread out to everybody now. There's no big barriers to entry.
You absolutely right. It's a sharing market, man. That's the way God wanted it. Everybody has an audience out there.
Yeah, for
sure. You can monetize it.
Now we got involved working together. We did hotels and real estate together. Yep. And you've been in a ton of different businesses and industries. And you were also the first person I talked to who looked at and said, okay, well, what industry do we want to be in? Not just like, we're going to just jump in and do a job or jump in and do something. You actually looked at it and said, this industry is bigger. This industry is smaller. This has more, capital in this industry. And so we got into travel. Do you remember when we were going through and drawing the circles and showing, I don't know if you're still on there on the other side. I see Claude. I'm not sure if it's cut off. There he is. Remember when we were drawing the circles and showing like there's entertainment is the different markets and transportation. Remember all that?
Absolutely. I still, yeah, that was the World Wide Web, municipal, principal, access, resource. I remember it all, brother. You know, the thing is that I'm still in those business sectors to this day. That same very company that we put sweat equity in, IEA, IE, you remember them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those companies today as National Hotels Association, Crypto Inc. to this day. Some of the customers became clients 10 years now. Yep. Now Maz runs the deal. I'm out of that piece of it. I'm just building technology around it. But yeah, man, it's the new real estate game.
It is the new real estate game. I talk about how real estate is about service now, and not service as in a realtor being a good realtor, giving good service. It's like after the sale service, because the thing about real estate that I found is people just want to, make the sale and then they're done with you. And that's really kind of attractive to agents to be able to make a huge amount of money and then they're done with you and somebody else deals with you. It's somebody else's problem. And so we found a huge niche where we could just keep servicing people after we make the sale, keep adding on value, just keep stacking it on into where it becomes, this is our current thing, is where it just becomes unreasonable, just completely unthinkable that they wouldn't tell their friends about this awesome deal that they have. And so we don't even spend any money on marketing anymore. We spend all the money on the value and they do the marketing for us.
You know what? You always was a goddamn scientist. You know what we used to call that? Internal consumption.
Yeah, that's internal right. I remember.
You don't have to I don't understand why people go out and get millions of clients when you can start with the first one and then end up with 999,999 of the friends. And let the friends be customer getters. I mean, the service actually brings the customer go get the friend and so on and so forth. Remember, we used to have a formula where it was DJs bring the fans and the fans bring the friends bring family. It's the same kind of formula, man. You know?
That's really it.
I still use it this day, man. I still use it this day. It's the recommendation market, not just referrals. I recommend this service, this type of person to you because I use it. Not that I didn't use it and then I'm referring you. I recommend because I have experience with it. That's the market today. And if you're not good at service and you really don't care about the customer or the client, if you don't care, it's not going no further than maybe a referral. That's it. I don't know. He could mess it up. Hey, he's 1 of 10. Recommendation is only 1. It's only 1.
I like that. I never thought of the difference between those two words and how that's a humongous difference.
Big difference, man. Big difference. Yep. Like it's a big difference between responsibility and accountability. See, everybody can be responsible, but when something goes down, who's accountable for it? Who's gonna raise the hand and say, "Hey, me"? Even if you didn't do it, you become the all-star if you adopt it. If you stand up for everybody else, you're gonna stand out. And me, I always ask the question. I never ask the question, who done it? Who is accountable for it? Me. Even if you didn't, you're gonna be the one I'm gonna keep on the job. And you're gonna be the one helping other people be responsible. I switched the boss right away. And that's how you stay, that's how you stay relevant versus just stay in business. And that's my philosophy, man. And I just keep adding value. Well, you know, we do that. That's what we do. Add value.
Adding value. That's the most, it's because that's, there's so much in the in the society now about like capitalism and making money and about how it's taking away. And really people have completely missed. And that's why I think a lot of people can't break through financially, is because they've missed the point that it's about giving. It's not taking. So they're trying to make money by taking, and they're just shooting themselves in the foot, because you cannot make money by taking. It doesn't work. It just logistically, that doesn't, people have to give it to you. So you have to give them, it's a trade in value. You want more money, give more value. It's real simple. It's like basic equations, right?
Hey man, that spikes something like an image in my head. The Excel spreadsheet, the BPO.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, CD, I got the spreadsheet for you, bro. Just plug and play. I got that very spreadsheet. I'll send it to you that you created.
You still have it?
Oh, hell yeah, I have it, man. I show people. I said, well, boy, put the numbers into a system for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the reason why I keep it historical, right? It just means a lot to me. Right now, it's vintage.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like having the first dial phone.
Yeah.
And you kept it. Yeah, it means a lot today. Like, this is where it came from. Now kids might not want to use it and see it like, well, but we also know where we come from. That right there, when we hit Las Vegas, I was like, damn, I gotta come up with. I used to draw it on the board. Remember?
Yeah.
You're like, here, man, take this Excel, just plug in the number.
So what we did is we created. Yeah, we were analyzing so many deals. So at this time, it was just before 2008. So it's like 2006, 2007. The market is hot. There's tons of stuff going on. And there were tons of REOs, real estate that's owned by the bank that they don't want. And so it's real common now. Everybody kind of knows that banks don't want to keep real estate. After 2008, everybody knew this. This was pre-2008. Nobody else really knew this. We were kind of like in a secret world, like this kind of, not underground like it was dubious, but underground like it was nobody really knew about it. It was kind of almost secret. And so we had access to like asset managers. We were trying and working on deals buying like 1,000 units, an entire REO tape from like Wells Fargo and Community, like an entire 1,000 unit tape we were buying, cherry picking and selling off to other ones. And so we had this thing called a broker price opinion. And so BPOs are pretty common. And you taught me also to go and just snatch the words from those Wall Street cats. Like all these Wall Street, smart Harvard, Yale guys that are brilliant and use all these words like BPOs, broker price opinion. Go just use it. Why use some crappy word like, oh, here's my spreadsheet of my opinion of the price, broker price opinion, BPO. That's the word. That's the Harvard word. That's the top notch. That's what we use. And so I started doing that with everything. Yeah. And it's biblical. It's like, the talons, the coins, the parable of the coins, where the master gives the worker the coins and says, take care of this while I'm gone. And the one that was able to bring the coins, add the value to it, invest it and increase the value of it. He said, well done, good servant, well done, good and faithful servant. But the other ones, he rebuked them because they just wasted it. And they didn't reinvest. And everything that you've taught me is not just the money reinvestment, is the knowledge and time reinvestment.
Right.
And this is called the High Performers Podcast. And time was you were the first person to talk to me about time and how you can just put more time into it. You can just like overwhelm the system by putting more time in than other people. Like there's a natural system to it. And can you talk about that? Like just getting up early and spending more time, all that.
Yes. Yep. Like you say, the hierarchy is also going to give you the inflated phases of just common principles, right? They always want to put rules and regulations on top of principles and call it their own. When in fact, it's real simple. Like the Bible, I'm going to get to the point of the principles. The acronym of Bible, B-I-B-L-E, is basic instructions before leaving Earth. But if you tell that even to pastors, like, oh, I didn't know that. Basic instructions before leaving everything. It was just instructions. Now, the manual says this. If you utilize, that's just the knowledge part. Now you put it in compliance based on your life, because it's not the book of Daniel. You're not the book of Daniel. You're not Daniel. So add your piece. So how do you do that? The question is, how do I take myself and put it in a set of principles, like the sun sets in the west for everybody, right? Don't go to the school, the duck school, right? So how do I take myself and align myself with the principles? So you start looking at things as common, world common, right? Commonly used, things like that, which is time. 24 hours, 365, and you can leap year, I get it, right? But, okay, so what I learned though, past that, is 24 hours a day, universal, period. So if you take 24 hours and you can break down minutes and seconds. If you take every single hour and you was to say tomorrow, because we predict this time for the show, but we didn't do it today. So things are predictable. If you use principles, they come true. If you don't use a set of principles, oh my gosh, you live in a wrong time zone where they usually say quinky dinks, or they say you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why. It never happens when you use the principles. 6 o'clock, who are you going to be with? Alex. Okay, now let's look at Alex. Now we got social media. Who is Alex? Or what is Alex at least? I go through it and say, well, if I'm worth $100 an hour, it's 24 hours in a day, that's $2,400. But if I hang with Alex in 1 hour, let's look at what Alex does financially. So then you get to ask the question. Well, it looks like Alex is about spiritual things, but he ain't about capitalizing on the time. It's okay, but he don't need to be at 6 when I need $100. I got to put it where I want to have my joy time. Miller time, overtime, halftime, that kind of thing, or ground zero. Let me talk to Alex first before I get my day going, because he always helped me become happy. There it is, 7 o'clock. Who you with? Oh, Joe. Joe was on the corner all the time. Bam! In the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't your time, it was Joe's time. So principles, if we was to just keep kids, we'd keep them away from drug dealers. Because drug dealers have a drug dealer time. That's it. It sounds so simple, just not easy. Use principles. That's what we install in we call them ethics, morals, but really, this is a set of principles that God created to keep you safe. That's it. Then you call it what it is, customer, whatever the name you want to put on it becomes. Numbers don't lie. This is what I figured out, Alex. Now, you got to ask all your audience. You already know I got a kicker. Okay, watch this. All right. We go do this live on the recording?
Let's do it.
My boy, I'm going to do it live.
Do it live.
Okay, here we go. You got to do it quick, though. All about numbers, right?
Are we doing the sevens?
Okay. No. Yeah, that's another. I still do that.
Good.
Do that.
I've seen you do it on the internet. It's effective.
I do it. This one is good. This one is it, man. I'm gonna ask you a question real quick in numbers. Okay. How many hours in a day?
24.
Okay. You know your date of your birthday? The numbers.
Yes.
Okay, say them. You don't have to say the last one.
314.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. How many hours in a week? No, baby. No. I know you, baby. I told you. Look at the eyeball.
It's 84, isn't it?
No. Look it. What I tell you about UFC boxing, man? I told you I'll put you in the ring.
Yeah, the eyes go right up trying to remember, huh?
Oh. Don't try to use no calculator. Listen, but here's the driving point. Me and you are so freaking smart. The intelligent part is part of it too, the intel. Do you realize 24 hours a day never change? When I ask you a question, you say 24. But that's in common. Everybody around the world can say that one. But this is what you do. When we say, okay, what is a BPO? What is this? Do the acquisition, right? Nobody's like, oh my God, I don't know how to buy the real estate. Here it is. It's a formula. Do you know God created formulas? Like, think about it. 24 hours a day. If you ask anybody and they say 20, you don't go to that school, right? 20, 1.5. Let me correct it. 24. Nope. I'm bad at math. No, you're not. You're not bad at numbers. You may be bad at arithmetic, adding it, but it's just the number. 24. Do you know it's 168 hours in a week? That's it. You know how old we get? I'm 55 now. And that's been around for 55 damn years. And past me, no one ever taught me that in school. No one taught me numbers, taught me math, algebra.
So you went mute.
So,
there you go.
You still there? There we go.
There it is.
So 168. Here's the kicker. How many hours have you been on this planet as of right now, the last hour?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Oh, see, the word. You used to say that damn word too. A lot.
Not a number, just a word.
You know why? You know why? The government teaches in letters. When we talk about capitalization, capital is numbers only. That's U.S., United States of America. America government uses words. That's why we know how to go after the numbers. We chase the words. Money. How much money you want to make? A lot. Another word. How much capital do you need? A lot. You're not in the right sector. Let me teach you. Numbers. And numbers don't lie. People do.
Man, I remember you made that one video and we talked about it afterwards. You had a meeting with your crew one day. And this happens to me all the time. I'll be talking to somebody and I'll be trying to get exactly what you're talking about. I want the numbers. I want to know how much is it going to cost me? How much can I sell it for? What are the percentages? I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get a date. I'm trying to get a time. I need a number. And I say the same thing you say all the time. You're throwing words at me. You got to give me a number. You got to there's no soon in my calendar. There's no one day in my calendar. There's no someday soon in my calendar. I just can't find it. Like, I'll put it right in my calendar and we'll meet at that time. You show me where soon is in your calendar and I'll match it up to my calendar because I need a date and a time. That's because soon and someday, that's when it's going to happen. It's that specificity. Yeah.
Now I got no more words because that's where it's at. We need to just do a whole little conference just on this, put it together because people would be enlightened. It would help so many people just knowing numbers, man. That's it. It's the principle. It's the foundation. Then you put the fundamentals on top, which is words.
Yeah.
That's it. We can love more people. We wouldn't have hate in the equation. Don't even exist. Don't exist. We're going to do it. We're going to do a time principle segment all about numbers. Drive people batty. I want to do it with you. I want to set it up.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, we're already on the time principles. The other big one that I use all the time is about just forcing myself to put more work than I know other people are putting into it. And I've gotten to where I've put so much work into this one niche that there's no possible way that anybody who starts now can catch up to me. And that's what you talked to me about a lot was getting you get such a far amount ahead of people. Like they just cannot, you're so far above, they can't get to you. And it creates a confidence, doesn't it?
Yes, man. Yes. You look up, you're like, where's everybody?
Yeah.
Light years in advance, man. Like, Alex, you're before your time. No, I am coexisting with the time.
Yeah.
You still got to catch up. And what do you say? Lead, follow, or get the heck out the way.
That's right.
Yeah, man. I don't lead by example anymore, too, because I know how time it doesn't fluctuate. What it does is gravitates. You see, it gravitates to the principle. You get in the middle of that as a toll booth, it takes you along. It's a vehicle. It just becomes a vessel. It flows. And we can talk another thing about that and how you next element of time principle, the equation. The equation.
Because time doesn't stop. That's the other thing that you were talking about that I stuck with is it don't care about you. It keeps going. Like somebody else can use it. Somebody else can get up early. Somebody else can spend the time, or you can. The time doesn't care, and the world doesn't care, and everything around you doesn't care whether it's you that gets up early and uses the time, or it's somebody else that gets up early and uses the time. You went mute. There we go. Go ahead. I can hear you now.
Ask me a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's a little delay. I'm probably I'm in that little tower probably blocking a signal.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to pull over and park because it got kind of serious and I couldn't drive. I want to be here with you. When we get to talking numbers, man, I get excited. It's like in my DNA, man. Don't invite me to Thanksgiving, bro. I'm like, okay, all right. Talk about another thing what happens to me when you start talking about numbers, you start to things start to gravitate toward you. And it's principle, it's the universe lines up with principles, period. So when you're sitting up on a table, right? And this is just for me. This is, how I do it. I'm just gonna say how I get out. For the hour I'm sitting there praying, One day I opened my eyes as we were praying. We all had our hands in a circle. And I looked down at the turkey. And somebody just told me, I don't want to pray no more. No. That's crazy what I'm about to say. Right? I don't want to pray. Okay. I didn't want to pray over a dead turkey. I wanted to pray over the live turkey, sacrificing his life before it hit a plate. So I don't pray over dead things anymore. Cook things, dead things. I pray when it's in the ground as a vegetable coming out. I pray when I put the seed in. And I'm like, God, how much systematic stuff are we cliches? Now we're going to gather and we're going to pray over. If you look it down at the plate, you'll be disgusted now. You're like, oh my God, I'm praying when it's dead. That's like the eulogy. You know, the eulogy, you say some good things about people you don't even know, and you spend no time with them when they were alive. And all of a sudden, it was a good man, a good woman. And you say, cut, time out, cut. This is like a movie. Cut, let me direct this. How much time out of 24 hours did you spend with that person in the casket? 30 minutes. 30 minutes what? Per year. How in the hell is you that's doing the eulogy? You don't even know who that is in the casket. You know what he was doing, but not who the person is. And I just stopped praying, man. I just stopped praying. And I started looking at the livestock that God gave us and just start to pray and say, hey, I'll meet you in heaven. I'll meet you in heaven. I don't like to look at dead things, man. So now I spend more time. That's why I'm on this podcast with you, because I don't want nothing to happen if we don't put no time with each other. No. And then too, I had to get a verbal spiritual spanking. Like, Claude, you got to do what you need to do with your friends now, not the new people, but the older people. You got to stick with them. And I'm here. I'm here, man. I'm a better father. COVID was a miracle for me. COVID was a miracle. I became a farmer, better father. And I seen you with your wife. Okay, this is Hawaii. You guys, it's just harmony. I could tell. You know the NLP part too, right?
Yeah.
You know, I could read a static picture, make it live. I'm like, Alex is happy as hell. Because you know what? You went through a lot in versus love. Look at you, man. Look at your core. It was there before. It was there.
Yeah.
I'm talking too much. I'm just excited to see you, man. I just want to just grab that old knucklehead of yours, man. Tuck it under, man. You my brother, man. You my brother. You helped me. You helped me become a backbone. I was going through hell, Alex, although I had all the tools.
Yeah, I remember we used to talk about it. We used to talk about it watching, because okay, when you get to somebody that's at the very, very top and you're around them and they're performing really, really high, you can notice little tiny fluctuations in attitude and all that. But you didn't even have fluctuations in like attitude or thoughts. We could just see it in like you'd be on the phone more and you'd be doing stuff that was more personal instead of business, because you had personal stuff going on that you had to deal with. And I remember this one time it was right before everything happened in 2008, and the credit was starting to fall down. Like stuff was happening. Yep. Like I remember specifically, we had this American Express black car. We had like a 250,000. We had the credit card. Remember the $250,000 credit line, and we would go and buy hotel rooms and then turn around and sell them a year later for more. So we had like a year or 10 months worth of float on this credit card, and we were taking in all this money. So the way that it was working in finances, we had like a huge amount of float and a huge amount of debt, and we were using all this debt to get the product to be able to sell for the future. And so all of a sudden the economy just changed, and Wells Fargo looked down. And I remember this specifically. We had a card that Wells Fargo had said, we think y'all are going to make about $250,000 this year. So we're going to give you about $250,000 credit line. And then they looked down six months later, and there's like $7 million in the account. They're like, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all got way too much. Y'all are making too much money. And we were like, I guess we're good at this. And so they shut it down. They shut down they shut down our credit line. All of the hotels that we had booked and had contracts with are calling saying, hey, you need to pay. Hey, you need to. We got like, I don't know, $80,000 or $100,000 worth of bills that we need to pay like today, like right now. And at the same time, we had already booked a TV camera to come in, and we had the what were the girls that we had? We had you had like promotional
the ex girl.
X-Girls, that's right. Yeah. So we had promotional girls that were there doing like promotions. So it's supposed to be like a fun, happy video and all this kind of stuff. And we've got the world falling down around you. We got the bank is not gonna help. The customers are pissed and this and this. And we went in there and you were laughing and having a blast and joking and did an amazing show. And we're able to shut all that out.
Yep. And we was doing the billboards and man, you know what? What would it be like if I was restricted from my imagination versus the thought process that I need to be in? I decided at that point to have a better imagination as if we had everything taken care of. I had to do it that way because we was in Mayday. Like literally, we couldn't spend. We were stuck. It was what it was, and they were cutting all the credit lines. I couldn't pay the bills. Yeah, but I had a good team, and you guys were directly a reflection of that energy that we would always do. You just know you knew me, you knew, but you know the show must go on. And when you produce a show and you direct it well, the front is going to look great. Behind the scenes, it could be burning up. If I tell you we going in a vessel to go to heaven, we going to heaven. Now, we might lose a flutter, we might lose a little engine or two, but we gonna get there. Trust that. That's the love of God, man. That's how we did it. I don't know, looking back, I don't know how the heck we actually did it.
I don't know how.
We got it done. I don't know how we did it.
It felt like it felt sort of like we were like failing upwards constantly. Like we kept failing, but kept moving upwards. Like we kept failing, but kept making more money. Like we'd mess up and still make more money and mess up and still more people would come and want to work with us and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yep. Just that gravitation of love. We put so much out. So when we had a down period, that all grew, came back to harvest our seed. And that's what happened. People come back to help us. The hotels even came back and were forgiving and said, you know what? You guys made us some serious money. We'll hold on. And we didn't ask for it. They just seen it. You know, you guys have never been late. Now you're a little late. That you guys are consistent. You use principles. And when you use principles, you consecutively be consistent, then it's obvious it speaks to it. And then when it's abnormal when you don't do it, they're like, something's wrong, Claude. Tell us, we can help you. Be humble. I'm like, yeah, I'm in a dip. No worry, we got you. That's how it works.
Yep. I'm finally getting really into the consistent persistence. And I understood it and I talked about it for years and years and years, but I'm finally actually doing it more now with like the daily laws and daily habits and stuff that I do every single day. And I've been talking about that a lot, how, you know, it feels like we're going to have like a big sell off or a big, like exciting something that happens when we make a bunch of money or a big hit whenever we take a company public or something like that. But really, the way to make a business work is every single day, little tiny habits that we're doing every day so that we are this strong. So whenever that big thing happens, we're strong enough to even accept it and have it be a part of our lives.
That's it. That's growth. Inch by inch, from a cinch, yard by yard, but you just keep on, like inch by inch. Every time you complete small little tasks, it builds the belief. And anytime you can continue to build the belief is a formula for getting to the level of faith. So when you got all that belief, and now the result of it is faith, right? Then you operate without sight. You don't need sight no more, right? You believe in achieving things that's already predictable. So time principles allow you to take those predictions, put it onto time, and it just works. It's a formula, man. And it don't belong to you at the end of the day. If you rightfully build it for the people, it belongs to the people at the end. You get a chance to harvest off of it because it's enough for everybody. And then it leaves you the core piece of it, which is the most loving part of it. You know, it puts you aside of acre. It is how it works. I don't know. It's God's thing. I can't explain it. It's so big, I can't explain the words. It's just enough for everybody when you think about everybody going into it. This is how it works. So that's what I do. I'm a spiritual developer. Now my slogan is to be in pursuit of a genuine relationship with God. That's it. I grow Claude. And I grow Claude. There's another thing. I don't look in the mirror and say, you know, this is all about, you know, what we talk about, financial performances. The biggest achievement you can ever do is build you. That's what God wants you to do. He don't be vain, put you on earth, put you in flesh, and say, okay, think about me all the time. No. God's everything all the time anyway. Now do what I need you to do with the token I gave you. While it exists, do as much as you can for you. So when you get back, there it is. I say, God, that was a hell of a trip. That was a hell of a trip. I got no complaints, no regrets. Everything's taken care of, all the people. And now I've reached my purpose versus just a passion. And that's it. And I just love getting up. Like, you let me get up, it's me. It's me at the end of the day. It's me being responsible for other people and making sure that they are held accountable. And that's it, man. That's it. Now I'm just working on a better love relationship with my wife.
It's a great place to be to do that. It really is. Instead of like grinding, putting everything to the side and grinding. And we finally get to a place where we can just focus back in. Yeah.
That's it.
Tell us about Trip. Tell us about Tripto.
Tripto. No. I am going to release Tripto. It's been 4 years of building Tripto. The Trip token. It's called TRYP, like Trip. That's a trip. So you can't get into the greatest experiences without having the Trip. And Trip, in order to acquire it, you have to spend altcoins or stable coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin. Why would a person give me Bitcoin? Well, because they want to go to Beyonce. In order to go to Beyonce on a limited edition, you have to buy Trip. So Trip token, the code behind it is travel, hospitality, entertainment. So it allows you to, kind of like the American Express, it's seamless though. Everybody in the world will take Trip because Trip aligns you with opportunities in those sectors of travel, hospitality, entertainment. Some of the biggest entertainment in the world, unique, independent, stuff you ain't never seen, for family, for children. You need a Trip token to do that. But this is what I'm gonna do. I have not talked about this to anyone but you right now. And I promise you, I'm gonna come to you first so we can put together a program to not only take advantage of the opportunity, first movers advantage, because you're my boy. You know, when you came to me with Twitter and stuff, that twit. I'm like, you don't understand, it's a nightmare for me. When you like, hey, get up, twit. I'm like, twit? What is Twitter? You came to me with that. You're gonna make me pissed off. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I would have got it in Uber had I got it Twitter. I would have got it, just all of them. Facebook investment. You hit me with that. Hey, it's this meeting we need to go to, bro. Man. I stubborn.
And look at us now on the internet.
Crypto. You had it. God, you had it right there. I would have been in Bitcoin had I went to Twitter. I don't even talk about it. It was way before our time. That was in 2009, 10, 11.
It was early.
I was right there. But it taught me a life lesson. And now I'm in crypto because I'd be damned if I miss it again.
Yeah.
So now I'm paying attention to it's virtual real estate, it's a currency. But we're going to talk about it. Before I release anything, I'm going to come on your show and we're going to do the release. But I'm going to have a ton of people, so you're going to have to let me know how many people can be in here because I'm going to have developers, engineers. I'm going to release it to you first.
Cool.
That's my word.
Yeah. Yep. I'll make sure the technology is working good enough.
You got it. Whether or not, you already know I'm going to beat everybody up if they don't do it for you anyway. So they got no choice. So
That's
December
exciting.
the 29th, between the 29th and the New Year's, I'm going to do it. But I'll let you know before. I'll send you the white paper on it so you're aware of what it is. Because you asked me that. I'm going to send you the white paper.
Exciting.
I'm going to do that for you. I promise. Text me or send me your email so that I can send you documentation to get us ready.
Okay, cool.
And then whatever I can do to help you on this side, investors and things like that for the land in Hawaii, you already know you got it. 100%.
Thank you.
Get it together, give it to me. Let me push it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about one more thing. Tell us about the sweet spot.
You've been doing some research, man. You always doing your research. Sweet spot.
Well, I got to tell you first before you talk about it. I'm a little bit hurt because there was some more Hawaiians that was there before me.
The Hawaiian game is coming on.
I know.
Being against Hawaii.
I know. We were gonna make it.
Coming down or what?
Well, we were gonna try to make it, but we got some family stuff. We got some health issues with the family we're gonna take care of.
Don't worry, I'll put more content. You want me to put the content, give it to you first?
Heck yeah.
Okay, you got it. I'm gonna do it from the suite in the stadium, Hawaii game with the Hawaiian guys came to me and said, "Hey, look, we want to buy the suite." I said, "No, I want to be there too." So I'm gonna get all the Hawaiian players, the ninth item here, and then I'm gonna say, give a shout out to my boy Show. I'm gonna do that.
Exciting.
I'm gonna do. Tell me what you want me to say in there too, because I'm gonna do some freestyle and stuff.
Cool.
But I'm gonna give you the content to release from Hawaii.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
I got my word on it.
That's really exciting.
Got my word on it. So
that's more corporate. That's more corporate real estate that you were able to get a hold of. That it feels like a lot of people were ignoring that kind of thing.
Hey, you know what, man? I acquired it. Listen, I don't know how I got through that either. Oh my God. I was trying to cash that sucker in and sell it. Thank God nobody could afford it at the time. I couldn't afford to stand around and see if people could afford it. So I just rolled it out. My wife is like, look, I'm going to give you this last piece of money, but you got to figure out how you going to turn it. I'm like, baby, it's real estate. I got this. When I said I got this, I was thinking like, I don't really got this. I don't know. I don't understand the stadium real estate. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand. I still don't understand it. I'm working on I'm giving it away. I don't know what. Like, baby, did you make any money on the suite? Oh, yeah, that. Okay, well, yeah. Let me talk to you. It's my first year. I'm a rookie. Let me lose a couple dollars. I'll learn. I'll get it. But yeah, man, it's a whole different type of. Oh my goodness, man. Real estate, man.
So for people that don't know what we're talking about, the brand new Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They have skyboxes that they call suites.
Yeah.
And they're just beautiful. They're made to most skyboxes are mainly used for networking. High net worth individuals tend to network in skyboxes a lot of times. Is that correct?
That's correct. I had never been in a skybox. I've been at the pre-parties. I don't think I was important enough to be in somebody's box. You know, Will Smith, the movie In Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Remember when he was trying to get a hold of the owner and he had that medical box?
Uh-huh.
He was trying to sell it during the game. The guy was like, "Chill out, man. Chill out. Watch the game." Right. That would be me. I got tripped over, man. Like, God, chill out, man. This is something different for you, brother. There's so many connections in the clubhouse. So many. It's a candy store of investors from around the world that I didn't realize that are enthusiasts behind sports. Me, I don't get game. Come on, if I can hang out with my boys and barbecue, it's more about the element of the culture of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not really the game for me. I'm like, who scored? Like, who's the quarterback? Like, Claude, you don't know who the quarterback? Nah, but it sounds, I know football from soccer. That's but when you're in a suite, it is a business element. It's heaven. It's sports in heaven. The stadium brings people from around, especially Vegas, around the world. And you're looking at this multicultural. It's from Dubai and you look at them like, that guy right there can be a hard money lender. That guy over there probably can buy all Las Vegas. But you still kind of figure out the language. So when you have the suite, that puts you in the room. That's how you can't get in there without a suite. So you in there, but what you gonna do with it? See, I had a lot of learning about mentors. Like, hey, speak when you're spoken to, Claude. Remember, I used to go into like a wet puppy and be like, yeah, Richard can do this, Richard can do that, me can do that, the BPO, and that. They're like, oh my God, did you just piss on my soup? Yeah, now I'm about to throw up. So
that's what it feels like when you're going for it.
Let me tell you something. With you're the only one that I would ever do this with the ball head.
There it is. There's the franchise.
Me, sweet baby. And that's the sweet spot. That's the CEO. That's whatever you want to call me. Call me whatever you want to call me. But you call me little darling, and I'm gonna get you.
So this spot. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. The sweet spot is a accumulation of other suite owners that when they don't want to go to, they don't opt in to actually use their box, I lease it out like Airbnb. Sweet spot. app is coming. I built an app for it, but right now I'm converting it over to a real estate MLS for suites for every stadium. See what I do? I can't stop. She's like, damn it, you in there again, Claude. You gotta stop making business out of everything. But that's what I do.
You just can't leave a dime on the table.
I'm Daffy Duck.
Mine.
Hey, look, I got to put a lot of people to work, man. I got to afford to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So you was going to say, where did this come from?
But yeah, the hat, I know a lot about it. I know what the hat's about. You want to share with us?
Nope. This thing you got that nobody got on this recording that belongs to you. You know everything about me, man. You know this. You know this.
I do know that. We all gotta have the silly side, the silly dilly.
Hey man, silly dilly.
Silly dilly
right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, some things I'm just gonna I gotta leave with you because that's just that belongs to me and you, man. You can
I'll share this part about it. I won't tell everybody everything. It's magic.
Yep.
The hat
I appreciate it.
Is magic.
Yep. And I use it for the people now, man. He said, what? I'll be like this. He said, what? Come on, let's go back over there now. Let's go in the back door. It's a new sheriff in town, baby. You can't tell me nothing. You don't know who owns the land and who owns the building, baby. That's all I'm trying to tell you, baby. Just have a good time. Or you're not going to have a lease. Don't do the people wrong, man. And then I take it off and I leave. Batman, Clark Kent, whatever, which one you want? You want CD cash deposit or Christ deliver? Which one you want? But yeah, man.
That's those two mentalities. That's that I'm with my family, I'm with my business. I'm with this kind of business people, I'm with that kind of business people. Taking that mentality and just completely flipping it to be exactly who you want to be for who you need to be at the time.
100%. Yep. Who you want me to be? Because at the core, I'm just me. You want the representative? You want the what or you want the who? The who is Christ deliver.
Talk about the representative.
The representative is just like everybody. Everybody has a representative. Like, are you really meeting the core person that you're talking to? It's obvious not, because you and I know through principles and NLP that a lot of people don't know who they are. They know what they do, they know the badge they cover, and that's what makes them. Okay. But we know a little bit deeper. We know more about the person than the person know about themselves. So a representative is a person to get up as a clone, they get up as a replica. You know, they get up being something. They get up being the coat that they wear. They get up being the hat that they wear. The hat make them versus they make the hat. They get up being a Lamborghini. They get up being something and get up being a father, but not a dad. They get up being a dad and not a pops. Get up being pops and not a daddy. Just no matter how you spend that time is daddy, dad, pops, father, right? So those are the representation, cliches, not original.
This suit we put out, the mask.
There it is.
The representative.
There it is. Man, I could look like a doctor. All I got to do is put the right suit on, walk up in the hospital like, never seen you before, but Dr. Palmer, you have a surgery. You don't say. Well, hell, that could be somebody you bring up in your company too to wreck it. So what I do is I don't hire the suit. What I do is I sit down and tear up the resume and I hire the person's time that they spend. So that you spend your time this way, this is who I'm really hiring. It says you're lazy and you might be blind to it. So it's called blind laziness. So I'm cool with that as long as we can rectify it, clean it up, prep it up, build it up, shape it up, and then get started. But if you don't want to, the truth hurts or set you free. I'm going to tell you, you spend your time this way. This is what you said. This is what you are. Oh, man. Okay, no problem. No harm, stuff. Truth hurts. Separate. Said divorce, force to sale.
I like that. That's really important. I'm going to remember that one. I don't hire the suit. I don't hire the representative. You tear all that up and I hire the time already. I'm hiring the time you've already spent. Yep.
And that's what the truth is in the core. They can't hide from it. So tell me how you spend your time. 8, 8, and 8. Well, I do this, I do sometimes, I try. There it is. The words is coming out because you're using principles. It's like a zit. You can't see it until it comes surface. Like, ooh. And everybody see it by then. Like, ooh, you don't see that on your nose? Oh, Lord, that's just bad eating. See, that happened at core. And that could have been, you know, it could have been adjusted with proper nutrition. Well, the same thing about nutraceuticals, spirituality is the same. What you put in is coming out, baby. I see it before it comes out. That's it. I'm a neutral science. That's it. So I'm 55, man. I feel so blessed to be 55. 813,000 hours, bro. Whew. You want to be 72? There's the hours that a 72-year-old was 72 equates to so many hours that they've been on the planet. If you look at how they spend their hours, you could damn sure bet that you could be 72 based on what they did with every single hour. That's the magic in this. God is good, man. I'm just telling you. God is good.
Yeah, there's really something too, which you talk about with time and how you can't cheat it and how what you've already spent your time doing is the reality. And, you know, we have a lot of like rewriting our history of what we did with our time. Like I look back at my schedule a lot, and you taught me this, look back at what you actually did. Like, cause I keep track, I don't just take it off. Once I do something in my schedule, I mark it so I can see it later. And then whenever I look back, I go, oh, this is actually a trick I use. Like sometimes I'll feel like, man, I'm not getting anything done. Things aren't going that great, whatever. I look back at the schedule and I go, well, no, the reality is that I did 25 things on Monday and 38 things on Tuesday and 12 things on, you know, I see the tasks and I look at the numbers, and then the numbers can't lie to me.
Yep.
You know? And so
that is exactly true. Yep. That's exactly true. You reflect. Like I said, the Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. But when you start to take the last page in the Bible, which is blank, is the book of Revelations, the page is blank. You're supposed to fill that in. So when you look at the whole thing, the irony of the whole thing is explaining cliches and metaphorically speaking and the analogies. So let's break a fact down. This is a fact that if you actually did log in every single hour that what you can do previous day to the present day, it says past, present, future. If you in the past put the future in, then the predictability happens for the next part of the future. So it's called future value. You know, you get that real estate, same word. So my point is this: 360 days. Okay, it's 365 days, but 360 is a full circle. The 5 came by way in making 5 mistakes along the 365 days. You get 5 days to make the mistake. Otherwise, you circle back to the same. That's it. That's how you explain, like, oh, you know what you said, the thing about insanity, you're just chasing your tail. New Year's resolution, right? That's one day. You start that day, that's 0. You start the 365 journey, you got 5 days along there because the 6th day messes it up for you. And then you regurgitate, repeat. You're supposed to rinse. You're supposed to go like this and go up and go up. That's the formula for glow. That's how you use principles on your side, or it'll work against you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for sharing this with us. I feel like we've taken quite a little bit of time, and I appreciate you sharing. That's what I mean. I appreciate you actually sharing your time, because I know that it's schedule.
Yeah, but you know what? God says love before the principles. That's the only thing below it. That's the soil. Before the foundation of principles, the soil. He allows you that idle time to spend with your loved ones. That's why you can't make excuses. It comes before all the other stuff. You know, that's what harmony is, man. So this time with you is part of the soil. It's just something I got to do. Otherwise, you know, the harvest grow ugly. I can't fake all that stuff, man. It's just as part of, you know, the foundation and the fundamentals is that soil piece. And that's why I love so much now, man. I don't have to think about it. You know, you deserve it anyway. So it belonged to you from the history. You got that with me for a lifetime. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Thank you. That's a really beautiful thing to hear from you. I appreciate that. Sure, I think that's a great place to cap it off for today. And we'll see you again For all those folks out there listening and watching, do you want to let anybody know where they can reach out and touch you, reach out and get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Right on your show.
All right, perfect.
Call my boy. If you want to reach out, I'm here for my boy. You reach out to Alex, my Al dog. That's you, my Al dog. You the gatekeeper, bro. Period. It's not about me. It's about you and your show. So that's how you contact me, through Al dog. Period.
There you go. If you want to reach out to Claude, you reach out to me and we'll see if you're worthy.
Yep. Man, I love you so much, man. I do, man. Too. I love you so much, man.
Good to see you, D.
Yeah, man. So let's do this often.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, I'll get that
put it in the schedule. For sure.
All right, love you, man.
Love you too. For those of you out there watching us out in the interwebs, thank you for joining us. This has been Claude Palmer. My name is Alex Alexander. I'm the CIO of Integrity Portfolio Management here in beautiful downtown Kailua Kona, Hawaii. We sell agricultural land in Ocean View, and it's the way that I was able to change my life by watching videos like this, buying land, making myself grow into a better person, and also with love and light, and being able to grow for my family and to grow for my community. And so from downtown Kailua Kona, this is Alex Alexander with Hawaii Escape Co. And we're saying aloha.
Aloha. Love you, man.
I love you too. Bye, D.
Okay. Bye.